Well, Denton's victorious on Legends Day. How did it feel?
Yeah, great. What an awesome occasion. You know, like a family fun day where people get down and beautiful weather as well. Great to get some of the lads out of retirement to play for one off game. You know, and the likes of Wads turning up and playing. I think he played 65 minutes. So yeah, I was happy with that and happy with the win, definitely.
How good was it to see some of the lads, obviously, even Danny Patterson and Lynton, all that famous 18-19 squad, but some players that you'll have passed across with also.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to have a mixed bunch, lads who did really well for me here at Worksop, but also to share a changing room with Willie and there's loads of legends in there, Mets and Wads, and I think it's great, especially a club like this. Keep bringing those ex-players back. Where they are now at step 2 is huge, and you can see all those players have played some part of that journey. It's great to get everybody in and over a game of football and a couple of beers.
How good is it to see the club progress as much? Obviously, we knew how tough them times were in the NCL, and you saw it when you was assistant coach, then going from Renner from an objective point of view where it felt the club was on probably the lowest point of its history. So to come in, do what you did, and then see it now at National League North, how does that feel?
Absolutely massive. It's magical as well. I mean, I can remember used to getting changed over there in the porter cabins, and then you look at something like this infrastructure, absolutely fantastic. It's great for the town where it's progressing. Pete put a lot of time and effort in there, and everybody else involved with the football club. So to be here today and see where it's at now is it's a lovely feeling.
Now you've had a few years to sort of reflect on it. How was that season, that 18-19 season? Like how do you feel like it progressed? Obviously, we got to January, 9th place.
Yeah.
Probably people claiming your name to be gone, but stuck in 22 wins in a row.
Yep, stuck in, believed in the lads. We got a little bit of hard luck in that first month or two, but then to go on to that unbelievable run of 22 wins. And then when we beat Penistone here, and I can't even remember what the crowd was, but it was a ridiculous crowd. I think about 1,500 here, and then to go and win it, and then finish it off with a League Cup final and do the double was even just brilliant times, and it's really set me up in terms of my journey as a football manager at non-league. But yeah, absolutely buzzing season it was, wasn't it? It was Ottersford and Leal's free kick in that game at Albion Sports. They all stick out. Great memories.
So many iconic moments. Is there any stories that might not have made it that you can obviously PG on the club socials, but is there any memories or stories that you could share with us that maybe people won't have seen?
Do you know what? I think what a lot of people didn't see is the togetherness, not necessarily a story, but like a togetherness of lads who really cared about playing. Look, times change now. Like, the money in non-league is ridiculous. Back in and on our guarantee, the lads who played for Worksop at that moment in time, they just play for the club, and a lot of supporters did see that togetherness, but in the changing rooms, at training, away from the football, that'll stick with me for a hell of a long time.
Well, Conor, you've pulled on the jersey once again. How did that feel?
Yeah, proud. Certainly a proud moment for me after a few years. I think the last time I played at Sandy Lane was at 2016. But yeah, it's great to put the colours back on. Great to see some lads that are still playing as well. Some lads fitter than others. But no, it's been great. It's been great. And I've got my family here watching as well, so yeah, really proud moment for me, mate.
I know you said about others being here. Obviously, Leon, you two giving a bit on the pitch. How was that?
Yeah, of course. Me and Leon go back a lot of years. We obviously enjoyed a successful stint together at Worksop. He's epitome of a legend. Scored so many goals for the club. But we stay in touch on a regular basis and still have a good crack. So it was nice to see him actually in person for once. Although he's a little bit greyer now than what he used to be. So
thinking about yourself as well, playing here, how was it to get the boots back on?
It's tough. I know we're just talking off camera, but the pitch, I don't think I'd be able to survive on this these days. But the whole ground, the pitch is absolutely amazing. amazing for the club, and obviously the level that they're going up to. It's it's built for the future. But yeah, it's been great to be back in the ground with all the supporters. There's a lot of familiar faces, and obviously people like yourself. When I was playing here, that was still a young lad. So it's great to see you all growing up and doing so well, mate.
Speaking of that, obviously there's a lot of time of reflection, and just looking at it now, to have seen the club expand as it is, now playing National League North football, where obviously you were the person that scored in that semi-final heartbreak against Fylde. To see it go on that journey, how's that been looking objectively? Obviously you were part of that with a Team 500 raising money in Tesco, as we know. How proud is it to see that you were part of that journey?
Yeah, of course. We obviously we did what we could back then for the club, and through the tough times, and I think I look back with a lot of pride of being a part of that. Obviously the supporters played a massive part in saving the club at the time. And there's some individuals that certainly did a lot more than me. But to say that I played a part in that, I was obviously really proud to do that as well. So.
And finally, what are some of your favourite memories wearing that badge?
I think just talking about with Lakey before the game, there was a game against Grantham here, and he'd lost his dad the day before, and the manager at the time made sure that if we took the lead, we would pile on Lakey. And I remember it, my hairs are standing up on my arm just thinking about it. But I can remember scoring the goal at the back post against Grantham to go 1-up, and it was quite late on, and the whole squad piled on Lakey on the bench, and that moment, he said it's lived with him forever. So and it'll continue to do so. So that was probably one of the highlights, certainly of my time at the club.
And just finally, what were your favourite goal? You scored, some really brilliant goals. You've had one off backside as well that went over the goalkeeper. What was your favourite?
Yeah, I remember the backside against Chorley, where it's looped over. I think probably my favourite goal was potentially the semi-final goal against Fylde, coming back after a nasty facial injury away at Skelmersdale, where I lost my front tooth. Was never nice, being in hospital overnight. I think I had like 4 or 5 weeks off after that, and then to come back in the semi-final and get the nod to start and actually score the goal that gave us 2 minutes of hope before we conceded an equaliser. I look back at that was pretty special as well. So.
Lily, it's just finished in the Legends game. How was that?
Hard work, very, very hard work, but enjoyable.
And just generally, how did you think you played? How did you think you performed on the pitch?
I think I did all right. In individual moments, I did okay. I defend and I get the ball back and I'm knackered, or I'm running forward and I feel all right, and then I lose it and then I'm tired to get back in, but I did okay.
There's a lot of obviously Worksop Town legends playing today. Was there anyone you enjoyed playing with or playing against, of course?
Well, playing with Chris Waddle was obviously massive. He was a bit before my time, but I've been told how good he was and like what sort of a legend he was back in the day. And then it's obviously good playing with all the lads who I used to play with, Pato, Maka, Metz, and then against KJ and people like that. It's just brilliant. It's what you miss most when you stop playing football. You don't miss the football as much. You miss the lads in the dressing room. So that's what you miss more than anything, just being with the lads again.
And then being here generally, obviously the facilities might probably have changed quite a lot since you were here. How good is it to see the sort of progression of Worksop Town Football Club?
Yeah, it's great. It was obviously, when we were here, there was a bit of a difficult time, but I think we started on the right path. We got promoted and then we solidified, and obviously Pete's come in and Craig, and the ambition was always here, and you could see the vision of the club, and it's great to see it now thriving, and who knows where it'll stop.
How good does it feel to be part of that journey? Obviously, next season Worksop will be playing in National League North football, and obviously you were one of the big parts of that during the time where maybe the club was not in a great position.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's a great level. I'm sure it'll be a big step up for them. They're going to be playing against a lot of professional outfits or like real good serious players, but there's no reason why they can't be competitive and solidify this year, and then who knows in the future.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
No worries.